Hello everybody, my sweet little beans. How's it going? As you can see here, I have a little thing set up here of me playing Minecraft. I figured I'd have you guys join me on this little adventure while I give you a tour of a world that me and my brother and a bunch of other friends have worked on for years now, a long time ago. Managed to set up a little bit for us for the start of the tour, but I'm going to feed you in a little bit of history of what we have here, and figure we just do a bit of a playthrough while I give you guys ASMR and show you what I used to do in Minecraft. We can play Minecraft together. Anyways, where do I even begin? So, as you can see here, we've spawned in... It's a fuselage. I'll just tell you this. It's a plane. And it's an interesting plane. It has seats and stuff. But it's specialized for space. So, it's pretty cool. So everything, you can see the towers in the back too. Everything here was basically built by me. I built these massive facilities and stuff. I'll give you a brief summary on the world here that we used to play on. This world is called Dritaria. It was a world that was... Okay, we're going to ignore that creepy sound. Basically, this is a world that takes place far, far in the future. And two intergalactic companies who have been fighting with each other ever since have found this amazing planet. And there's some blocks that had failed to load, but we'll scrap that aside. But these companies, set up from this interesting planet, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you more of the lore as we go on here, but I'm just going to show you around for a little bit. Here we have the airport, or the spaceport. Again, some things haven't loaded. This is the check-in point. And I got the waiting room. This is where the guards would be. It's like a little checkpoint, basically. Go around this way. And then we go to the main hub here. And this should show a hologram of the solar system we're in. Currently, we're on this planet here. It's called You Are Here. The planet name is Dritaria. We have Dritaria, we have its moon, Tree, and we have two other planets here in the system that aren't as inhabited as Dritaria here, but I believe this one is an icy planet, and then this one here is... I'm not sure. I'll have to pull up the small thing I've written down. I have a bit of a memoir to remember this world's lore by, but it's a little complicated. As you can see here, it has this Gate A. This is where, the landing pad is for this. Here we have more unloaded blocks from the crashed mods. Here are supposed to be storage containers meant for the ship to be loaded onto the planes. A little break room. Supposed to be a door here. And then we have the road that goes out, goes around, and this is where they can load it onto the airships. Got a bit of a perimeter wall and a tower there you can see. We'll go back down this way. It's me and my friends and brother have worked on this world since 2018, I think. It's been a while. This world's an old world. Old. Very old. What you see here has been basically the start of this entire facility here. Was this portal I came in through. And I built everything basically from scratch. Down here leads into the subway system. Leads between different areas within the city. But here is the entrance to the main facility here for the large underground laboratory, you can say. The entire area we have sectors split it into. The underground complex that is not seen by the naked eye and has high security clearance, you can say, it's called Sector A. So we're in Sector A right now. If we go this direction, in the entrance, we have the lounge, living offices, and library. So we have a bit of a library here for people to read. Some offices, which is quite nice, honestly. Uninhabited. Some are, some aren't. But that's we have a bit of a homes, so it's kind of like small areas for people to stay in to get some rest on their shifts. It's not a permanent residency, but it's kind of like a hotel for employees. Unloaded blocks galore because of the mods that failed to load, unfortunately, because of how old the world is. But this is the bathrooms. I assume this is both male and female. After that, it's a dead end over here. Again, we have the lounge here. Nice little area for people to relax and get a big room. We go this way. We go to storage, generator, armory, testing. We got reception here, so this is where people like check in and all that stuff. We have this site manager, but not really, isn't it? It's not placed there. That's a terrible place. Here we have storage. Well, for this we need a key card, so let's get ourselves a key card, shall we? We'll get ourselves an all-access key card. If I can even... There we go. Here's a bit of storage. This is where some stuff is stored. They have chemicals up there, stored in bins. We have cryo chambers here for essential employees or whatever. I don't know. This is miscellaneous. This isn't a smaller part, a smaller branch of the facility. I should turn the volume down. I didn't think that through. But yeah, that's just a smaller part of the facility. This isn't like the main bit, but it's kind of like the entrance area. Oh. Minecraft is giving me crap right now. There we go. This is kind of like a control hub area. Can't really control... Pardon me. This is like, you can't control anything here, but this is like an information hub, you can say. Yeah, there we go. There'll be a bunch of news stuff here for the city and the site and all that stuff. Here we have containment. Broken again too. We got some creatures here in containment. And then down this way we have a testing chamber, the biohazards and stuff, but again it's broken. An unfinished part. Here we have the Department of Pest Control. We don't want pests in the massive facility, don't we? So we have pest control. This is where they stay. So they work with pests. And where does this lead? I can't remember where this leads. Oh, this leads into the above lighting. This is for people or the electricians to access. My goodness. Yeah, it's easy to get lost in this facility. I made it complicated for a reason. Turns everywhere. Another containment, absolutely not loaded. There was supposed to be a pizza SCP here apparently, but put that aside. Another gate area. This is where we find our armory here for some on-site security, basically. Yeah, that's pretty basic. Over here we have the AI Carl. It's a AI unit powered by the mass conglomerate of creepers. Creeper AI Ready Loco. I don't know what that meant, but apparently that's what it meant. So it's an AI system that runs the facility. I assume this is another SCP, I guess, that doesn't load. This here is, apparently these are supposed to emit chemicals. These are chemical dispensers that dispense a neurotoxin. So in the in the case of a facility power outage, this room were to be filled with a neurotoxin to prevent access to it. So, speaking of power, we have the generator here. I don't want to toggle the power out of fear of ruining the redstone because of how old this facility is, but yes, this is the generator here. The generator here. We'll go out this way. And we'll go down to the bigger, more main portion of the actual facility, the extension, you can say, to the actual extension to the facility. So this is like the main area, I guess you could say the entrance area. We got just an enter portal, containment 3. And then we got a chemical lab here to work with chemicals and stuff. It's pretty neat. But yeah, this is just the main area. The bigger portion is down deeper and way more larger. That's where the actual facility is. We got blocks for cryo chambers. Inoperable, but yeah. We got checkpoint A. So this means into the entrance for the area, or this marks the entrance of the extension to the facility. Here we have the vault. It's not as secure as a vault would be, but secure. Director class or higher only. So only the highest of higher ups get access to this area. Over here we have a bit of a memorial. And over here we have the main data place where we keep all the datas and like copies of documents that are essential. My friend made the OBD files, which is like a knockoff to the SCPs. He thought it was funny, but we got the trials, we got the village, the island, the mine, neurotoxin tests. To make sure it's up to the code. We got the complaint department. Actually, we're gonna read a couple of these. How about that? We got test subject files. The rest isn't really put in here. But as you notice, the trials, there's 3 trials. We'll get to those in a minute. We'll get to those when we do. But they don't really have... Well, I guess the village does have some stuff. The island has a book and quill. And the mine has nothing. We'll see the OBD files. No. Oop. Says OBD number 1344. 1344 appears to be a bundle of an obsidian as a quick purple fluid that smells of strawberries. Note, when consuming subjects slipped into a comatose state, they are unable to wink. We have named this new element Anomaly. Prisoner Davin Mercer came out of his coma and began screaming, crying, "Redacted for reason of security safety. More testing required." Interesting. And there does not appear to be any others. The trials, we have problems by the cartographer. But it's the cartographer. We got cryptic messages. Theories by the cartographer, and we got more cryptic messages, which is weird, but okay. We'll start with the cryptics first. It says, "Hello and welcome to..." Okay. You may have woken from some headaches, but I think they spelt it wrong. That does not matter. This book will give you a quick summary of what to do, or what's going on and what to do. Sadly, we are incapable of telling you what is going on, but we are capable of telling you the rules, for sakes of keeping you alive. Number 1, do not attempt escape. Number 2, do not break the walls or supply bay. Number 3 is redacted. That's comforting. Then we have theories by the cartographer. He says, "The people here seem to be worshipping the people who run this place, and what I mean by who runs this place is unknown. The one thing I do know is that these godlike figures are watching over us for some test or something, like a lab rat. Doesn't matter. One thing's for sure, they are not too fond on their subjects escaping, putting anyone who tries to escape a gruesome fate." I wonder what he could be talking about. Down to home, behind the word on the southwest side. I think that's just navigation. And then we got problems by the cartographer. There's pages. take this into an idea. These godly figures wipe our minds and toss us into a fabricated world. To what? Let us die? There must be more. Perhaps a social experiment? I think not. I'm building a device made from scrap parts of the Overseer's tech. When all power cells are combined, it should teleport you out, though it may be intercepted and taking you to a boss battle instead of an exit. Oh, beat the boss, and you should ascend to the next place. Whoever's reading this, I wish you luck. So I'm pretty sure that's when they beat the village. And when they beat the village, they're set to go to the island for the trials. And then if they beat the island, they go to the mine. But that's just the trials. We'll get to that later. I'll show you the trials project when we do. Here we have a bit of a bunker for the higher-ups. It's more of like a luxurious living place for moi, but I never used it. Down this way, we'll leave back out the, what's this? Classified notes. Hi, Ty. Day 1, got you. And then what's this other one? Rules with Carl. By Loco. Please do not antagonize Carl. Do not mess with Carl. Carl's plant is to be left untouched unless authorized by Carl himself. For exit the room immediately during an emergency, for it is protocol to fill the room with neurotoxin. Never give food to Carl. Good to know. I think this is what I was talking about with the AI earlier. I guess I didn't remember that he had security procedures. Back this way, we'll head deeper into the extension of the facility. Oh, we're the facility of Sector A, yeah? Here we have a bouncy house, which is just, I guess it's a bouncy house. I don't know why it was built, but I guess I just wanted to build one for fun. Nothing. There's nothing in there. Prison testing, biohazard control, cryo control. Here we have the entrance to reception to the jail here. This is where people keep or are kept. There's more testing here, but it's been decommissioned. Doesn't work. It was in construction, but the project was called off because it sucked. We have a bunch of what they call inactive cryo. This is where people or prisoners are kept in for inactive cryo sleep. Over here we have the active cells. This is where they're alive, not in cryo sleep, and are currently being held. They have a bit of a lunchroom over there, bit of a yard to hang out in. A lot of blocks are not rendered. We'll go this way. We have the biohazard control, unfinished, but what it's supposed to be is where all the people who are certified for dealing with hazmats are to stay and work. It's unfinished, like I said, so, and that elevator leads to an extension that also leads to an unfinished dead end, so I'm not going to waste time by showing you that. Over here we have cryo, neurotoxin, offices, and containment. Some of it dead ends, and some of it don't work. Here we have, this area is under quarantine due to outbreaks. Quarantine. But, yeah, it's under quarantine. We won't tread it now. Over here we have access to the cryo controls. This is where the fluid and everything is pumped and processed for the cryo chambers en masse over there for the inmates. Here we have offices, unfinished, containment, unfinished, and neurotoxin control, also unfinished. If I believe. Yeah, it's... Oh, actually, there's more than I remember. I guess it was finished. There's supposed to be piping and stuff in here, but I guess the piping hasn't loaded. Well, I'll be surprised. I guess it was finished after all. What was? Over here, we'll go back down this way into the main facility where everything else is housed and worked on in the entire facility here. The door leads nowhere. It's another unfinished dead end. Up here, we're supposed to have a containment for one of those SCPs. I think it's 682. But, yeah, it leads nowhere eventually. Here we have pipes for charging and fluid exchange. We have the RRR, which is like the repair, recuperate, rest, or whatever. But essentially this massive place, I'm gonna have to fly now. It's huge. This massive place. There's giant blocks that move on rails that have multi-purpose inside them. And they're moved around for purposes of being like convenience sakes. I don't know. Each one has their own separate facilities inside them. We have roads, railroads, and stuff leading over here. Large pillars connecting to the roof. And over here, each one of these blocks and cubes here are being housed here. Well, yeah, they're all being housed here, of course, but this is the main housing for the warheads. Each and one of these is a warhead, apparently. Over here we have there's a big chemical and biological testing lab here. We'll enter the main entrance here. Over there is like the loading bay. This is where they load the chemicals and the biohazards. And then, yeah, the entrance is down this way. If we walk past is there a parking lot here? Yeah, there's a parking lot here. So these places are, we'll get to these large movable blocks facilities in a second. Here's the main entrance. Please wait here. They'll call you up. This is a reception area. Here's the waiting lobby. Here's the entrance into the lab. Down here, more unfinished blocks. We have like the actual loading bay. Here we have movable chambers. This is where biohazard here. More containments. It's like kind of like, I guess, portable cryo chambers, you can say. It's like art that we did with like the thing. There's quite a few of them here, more than I actually thought. And down this way, here's like the change room, and then the actual entrance into the facility is down like this way. So yeah, it's a bit. It's an eyesore seeing the unfinished blocks. If it was finished, it'd be a lot cooler, but unfortunately it isn't. And on the top floor, there's offices here, as you can see. If I can do that. I guess it's an office here. It's a bunch of offices, kind of liminal almost, if you think of it like that. We'll leave our way out, and then we'll get to the more juicy bits. So this way, we'll have, you can see the massive thing that says chambers. Here's the control tower for the chambers. This is where they control the movement of all these giant movable facilities. Here's another testing facility here. It's just, oops. Whoa. Oh, it's just a cave. I thought it was something else that's under. I was like, whoa. But yeah, here's more offices and testing chambers, kind of similar to the other facility we just explored. So nothing too special. And then we have the OBD. This is what my friend built. I let him house one of these. This is all of his. This is what he does as his own little facility. It says caution, active anomalies within. This is his flag apparently. Like I said, knockoff SCP. Metal detector, I assume. Reception. This is where he contains one anomaly. We'll see what other anomalies he contains. It says life elixir 1212. And then what's this one? Site personal only, restricted use results in death. Gotcha. Just an armory, I guess. Then this must be the OBD. Yep, 1344. This is the one that sent that person to the comatose. Okay, 3211 is just one of those things. And then egg of Remif. Okay, alright. That's silly. There's another floor here, isn't there? Yes, there is. He built, seems to be a portal. There's this book here. OBD 232. 232 is a hornet's nest that's filled with the most delicious honey, but the hornets themselves are about the size of a small lockbox. Ooh, their stingers can puncture a thin steel plate. The hornets are docile until provoked. 6 Class D and 3 personnel died during containment. This must be the... No, this isn't it. This is just a pillar. 433. Oh my goodness, I did not see you there. You scared me. Hello, sir. Hi. That's an empty cell. What's this? OBD 1454. Well, there's nothing in there, so that's interesting. What's in here? Oh, more stairs. So what's this way? Hi there, sir. Is this like a testing area, or is this where they keep like safe class? What's up here? I think this is unfinished, yeah? It's unfinished, or leads to a dead end. Well, it was nice getting to explore my friend's old facility one more time. But that's technically the OBDs. Like I said, knockoff SCPs. And then over here we have O for the offices. So this is just the offices. It's just a whole block dedicated to just offices. It's all a little nice little thing. Several floors. Look at this. Oops. I guess we'll go this way. Stairs. And then on the very top floor, we have like the higher ups meeting area and their own offices. So we got a secretary, I guess. A Professor Stefan, director of the OBD. So the OBDs you're just talking about, this is his office. It says pre-lunch day 1. Welcome. If you're reading this, then it's likely you're one of my crew snitching through my journal. If not, then congrats, you found a journal of a lost explorer who was sent by Loco to study interdimensional travel. My name is Dr. K, a biologist who specializes in studying creatures. My crew is a team of scientists and engineers to keep the shuttle going. Here are the names and roles. Richard, pilot. Trevor, the co-pilot. Me, the biologist. Dr. Hyper, chemist. Professor Henderson, medical supervisor. Billy, mechanical repair. Sally, fuel management. Victor, quantum physicist. Our goal is to discover how this rift starts, harness its power, while also discovering the source of this parasite and detonating a bomb designed for wiping out entire universes. God, I can't speak today. This is a dangerous mission, let alone with a payload made to destroy reality and an aggressive parasite. We are training for a week. I will write down after the launch. This may be the last time I write this, so I say farewell. Apparently, if I remember correctly, this book is kept by the director of the OBD because the book in itself was anomalous, because the book appeared from a different dimension, he said. So whatever these guys accomplished, we don't know. All he knows is that he retrieved this book from a different dimension. And was their goals. What is this book? Launch. Is it this the same one, or is it... Oops, I got the... Day 1, welcome to reading this lucky. Yes, exactly. This is the same one. Let's see what other offices we have. We have director lounge area. So this is where all directors lounge. Okay, we got pizza. That's beautiful looking pizza. Delicious. We got a fridge. We got a mug. That's nice. Dr. Trenton, genetics branch. This must be his office. This is what he built. Oop. Okay. We got a bench here. A little glitched, but okay. Nerf. He's the chief. I assume he's the chief of security here. Head of security. Unloaded, but I assume that's a beautiful desk he built. And we have the meeting room. This is where all the site directors kind of meet up. But that basically is the entire office area here. This can go on for hours for how long we can explore this world. But that basically sums up the entirety of Sector A. I'll get you to more lore after this, once we get out of here. So, yeah, Sector A, we got this taken care of. Oh, actually, no, we got one last thing. This entire massive thing here is where all the employees are actually housed. This is the decontamination, so they'll have to go through this first. They'll have to go through a checkpoint here. Well, before we go to the checkpoint, they can either go through the checkpoint or up here, where they will be contained for future use if they're not currently active, in this massive reservoir of cryo chambers, where we keep the employees, or, you know, the essential ones that we don't need in the moment. So they'll be kept here. Lots of cryo chambers everywhere. I don't know why it was this place with it. Yeah, they'll have to go through a checkpoint. Some security. Lots of security. And then they can finally come here where they can relax for the rest of the day. This is the bathrooms. I guess it's an unfinished area, but here's the bathrooms. Over here we have the diner, the kitchen, not the kitchen, but like the massive canteen area. People sit and lounge. We actually have rooms here. So I guess there's not enough rooms for a lot of employees, so it's like really the only essential ones that actually have to stay on site get these. It's not a whole lot. And then we have the rec room, which, you know, for people who live underground so long, I mean, it's something, right? Something to correlate with reality. We'll go back this way. I guess more rooms were supposed to be built there, but I guess not then. Here's a shortcut. Then that sums up for Sector A now. That's all Sector A. We can either go back out through the main entrance to the airport, or, well, we go here to the massive underground. There's a elevator here for the trucks too, but it's a massive car garage that goes quite a few stories. We can park, cars can park. We got stairs, so you can take the stairs. We can also take the car elevator up. Here's the ground level here, but it also goes up too to these other levels. So there's that. It's pretty cool, pretty nifty, not gonna lie. Like, pretty interesting. And we're actually at Sector B here. This entire city above ground is considered Sector B. We have massive skyscrapers. We got the UPD. It's very dystopian, really. It's supposed to look bleak and dystopian. As you can see here is the airport we came from, or the spaceport. The perimeter walls that were glitched out. The main walkway for the control tower. And then over here we have the parking lot for the people who work at the port. Yeah, the police tower is supposed to be for the police. This is the vehicles for where they keep their stuff, but again, it's unfinished. A lot of it's really unfinished because it's so huge and this world is so old. This was supposed to be the museum, or a lookout for this place here, this massive tower. It's supposed to be on stilts and have like the support beams go across in like an X fashion, but again, unfinished. My friend put this here. I do not want to remove it. It's pretty sus, don't you think? So much old things. Here we have we have the main, like a little area between two. So these three buildings here, these three towers here, were meant to be residential. So these were all just like massive apartment complexes. We have R, yeah, marked R for residential. So I went around marking towers 2 as their initial intentions for it. So these just giant towers were meant to just house the employees here. Here we have, I think this is also supposed to be residential too, but I guess not. I don't know. Here we have a little park here. Lots of roses. More than it should have, but I guess it's okay. We have a mall here with the parking garage right behind the mall too. And yeah, here's like a little area for people to lounge in the mall. We got the first floor here. We have Bamboo Airlines, which I guess is just a Chinese restaurant. We have Dairy King instead of Dairy Queen, okay. And then Burger Queen instead of Burger King. I see now. Big Cheesers instead of Little Caesars. We got Wendy's instead of Wendy's. We got Hick Dongles instead of McDonald's. And then in here is supposed to be a little movie theater for people to lounge in. Yeah, chairs are glitched out too, but that's okay. And then we have the next floor, so you have to walk back this way and go back up here for the next floor. We have HR Jenny's, which I think is instead of JC Penney's. And we got Kohl's instead of Kohl's. It's just spelled differently. And then here we have Rose instead of, I guess just another clothing store. We got the restrooms here. And then we have Liquid Pets. What? Okay, whatever. And then we have Shred-a-Bear Workshop. Instead of Build-A-Bear, we'll just do Shred-a-Bear. Yeah, these weird off-brand names. It even confuses me sometimes. Oh, the sunrise looks beautiful. Look at that. Over here is supposed to be a walled-off section to split from this. But what's supposed to be in this area is a massive refinery and power plant to power the city and everything about it. Here is supposed to be the main core. This was supposed to produce all of the energy that was supposed to be supplied here. Blah. This was one of the cooling buildings, one of them, but I guess I had time to fix it up. It was supposed to be just holding all the coolant in here, and this is just the control area for it in the building. Elevator takes you to the top of the building, just like that. But yeah, the refinery is extremely incomplete. This was supposed to be a workshop for, I guess, cars. It's really just a car workshop. It's yet to be built into a tower. Over here, I don't know what this is. Right here, I guess it's like... I guess it's like a massive... I don't know. This was supposed to be a subway system, unfinished. Subway entrance. And then more parking garages. Indeed. And then another coloned up, kind of like one of these things, just hasn't had the support struts built into it. It's supposed to be just like that. And then there's the unfinished highway, and you may have noticed that this entire city has been walled off. Yeah, it's been walled off. This entire city here, with above ground, within these walls, is Sector B. Anything outside of these walls is otherwise known as Sector D. It's the in-between of the city and other ones, or other parts of the sectors. So yeah, this is Sector D here. As you can see, there's other massive walls. So how do I even explain this well? It's It's massive. It's just straight massive. It's huge. So like if I had a map to show you, I would have a map to show you, but it's just massive. So there's one big, really big wall, the size of like a rectangle, circling everything. But there's certain sectors within the wall. So we have the city within the wall here, which is Sector B. And then we have Sector E here for Eden. These are the Edens, or the trials, that I'll get to in just a moment. But these are both are their own sectors within this massive walled system. You can see this one's taller than that. So, but the area between the sectors here is Sector D. It's a little confusing, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. But we'll actually enter Sector E here, the Edens, which is their whole little project here. See, the highway here is unfinished too. A lot of unfinished projects. But within the sector here, this actual sector is complete. This sector is actually finished. So we go inside here, and we're actually finally inside Sector E, and this is its own massive area. We go around this, and this massive building in here is the Eden Project, quote-unquote, the trials I was talking about earlier. This is where the trials are hosted, or the first stage. It's called the Village. This massive candy cane farm. Here's the control for Sector C. This is the same main control room for the entire sector. This is where they manage everything. There's a bit of the water pump house for that power. Here's Eden 3, which is the mines, which is the third one in the trials, or the Eden Project, completely located underground. It's a massive facility, or little testing area. It's just the mines. It's literally as the name implies. There's the entrance of it for Eden 3, and it kind of goes underground here. This is welcome to Eden 3. Main entrance. There's a bit of the power area. These are supposed to be pipes that lead into this, but the pipes haven't rendered. We have a couple more towers. We got 3 towers here. They're supposed to be their own little, the Eden Project's commission office. This is where the main buildings where the Eden Project is actually funded, hosted, and everything negotiated about it. Or the trials. We got the cool fountain here. Nice little fountain. We got the people who actually passed the trials. They call it the Hall of Champions. So these are all the people who actually passed the trials, which is pretty cool. As you can see here, I did host a couple events of it, and it didn't go far. Over here we have more piping and stuff. This is for the main system for the Eden Project. Because apparently lore-wise, you can't die when you're under it, because they have this fluid that resurrects you, and this is the main stuff that supplies it here. Maybe a bit of a desert here, and then over here, across this wall here, we have the entrance to Eden 1, so we got a little, I think it's a security shack, yeah, there's the entrance to it. It's so massive, so I can't show you guys every detail. But, yeah, this is the entrance to Eden 1 here. The main entrance is right here. This the spawn bay, or the supply bay. This is where the test subjects are supplied once every while. And this is the main entrance. This is the main area where they're being tested on. It's a massive abandoned village. That's why it's called the Village. The more you know. And this is where they're just tested, where they have to succeed. Once they actually pass this, they'll be moved to Eden 2, which is a massive island, which I don't know if I'll get to show you or not. But then once they pass the island, they get moved over here to Eden 3, which is just a massive underground cave complex where they have to basically do the same stuff, try to escape. And once they do, they pass the Eden. This lore of this entire world is deep and rich, but I'll sum it up to you here. Basically, two intergalactic companies have been fighting for the longest of times, and finally they find this planet that's beautiful, vibrant, and it's amazing. And this company, or the two companies, let me just say their names. We have Loco and Doge Inc. Loco is an industrious, massive intergalactic empire that profits off of its industry, and that's what it mainly pioneers on. It's not really invested into science as Doge Inc. is. And Doge Inc. basically has their own little... They value ethics more than would Loco wouldn't. So, needless to say, Loco is both companies are massive intergalactic companies. Loco values industry and has little to no ethics, or at least the bottom baseline of it. And they'll do whatever it takes to do mass production. Mass production and whatever it takes to pioneer off of anything. And then Doge Inc. values science, innovation, ethics, you can say. They're another company, but they're the rival company, and they've been fighting with each other for the longest time. Back to the present, the planet found by Loco, Dritaria, what we're currently located on, is a vibrant green planet, and they decided to convert it into... Let me actually just pull it up here. I have this whole thing of lore, and I'm just failing to use it. History and founding of Dritaria. Here we go. 30 years ago, the planet Dritaria was discovered by the intergalactic company known as Loco. The company is known for running planetary tests and doing cruel things in the environment to planets, or if lucky, the planets would be used for mining and harvesting purposes. Dritaria happened to be interesting, though. Loco wanted to turn it into a mining planet, but came into conflict when Doge Inc., Loco's rival company, decided to make a home here too. See, Doge Inc. wanted to perform research and tests on the diverse planet. But this brought war with Loco, as always. This leads into many environmental problems with Dritaria as well. For the war has cost costs its environment and diversity to perish. See, an infection had swept across the planet. The infection you can see right here, actually. This stuff here. And the overall mining had caused it to lose its mountains and overall hilly areas. Thus forces Doge Inc. to either retreat off the planet or stay put to make a safe haven. For Doge Inc. chose the second option, creating a city that provides a beautiful sky and a habitable environment. Loco, on the other hand, was forced underground to no longer mine, but instead conduct research on unknown objects and prisoners, making Loco consider the planet as a prison planet. Obviously, there's not massive prison planets. There's bustling cities here, massive complexes, but its main purpose now is meant for containment and research, and not really meant for mass production of anything anymore. As I said, for containment and research, I guess you can say this entire Sector E was actually used for containment and research. As I said, the Eden Project here, or the trials here, are actually used to combat this infection, as to test and train people who are worthy enough to fight this infection. It's a long process, but technically is just the purpose of this, is to fight this infection, revert this planet back to what it used to be. Hence these large facilities, what they're meant to be. Here, I'll also show you, let me teleport to it, Doge Inc's facilities. It's not as massive as Loco, but I'll show you. So, 0, we'll do 70, 0. This is Doge Inc's city. This is the entrance to his this is his militarized area, past this wall. He has a bit of like, these are his semi-trucks. Entrance to an underground bunker. It's like an elevator. This is one of the attachments for one of those trucks. Smokestack, I presume. This is also kind of like a commercial hub for everybody. This is the main spawn point for anyone who joins the world. So we also have other communal build things. Someone built the toilet, which is just a massive toilet, so that's not on me. He built a massive tower. Looks like the Burj Khalifa almost. Reaches the height limit, for say. He built guns, turrets to defend the outskirts of it, as you can see here. Walls as well. And then some apartment buildings. A massive apartment building too. It's nice. Someone built a little house, a little cottage and mushroom. He said the apartment buildings even have like a pool and stuff. He's very proud of this. He's very proud. Look at this. There's a pool. That's beautiful. It's nice. And it was a village at one point, but it was converted to look more futuristic, you can say. Massive underground facility, cables to draw power. Apparently a missile here. He just has a missile silo just chilling here. Another smokestack, unknown purpose. But that sums up his area. I will show you Eden 2, which is the island. It's a separate facility located outside the huge like sectors area, but it's its own sector too. This will be the last thing I'll be showing you. Again, more walls. It's massive. Like Attack on Titan big. Huge. I don't want to waste your time too long exploring this world, but at least I'm giving you a little insight of what this world is. Of what we used to work on many years ago. See, this is the main perimeter wall. It's built on top of a village. But here is the massive island. The massive, I just mean massive island. Look at this. It's huge. And it's part of the trial. So they beat the village, they teleport here. They beat this, and they go back to Eden 3, which are the mines. And it's just walled off, and it's just on stilts. It's huge. It's just massive. Huge. I can't even explain it enough. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the entire world for now. I'd show you more in-depth details, but it's just so big and rich with lore that I can't even explore all of it. It really is. But I thank you guys for joining me on this little journey of giving you a tour of the world that I've worked on for so long with collaboration of many of my friends. Pretty much all of the structures that are loco, this dystopian stuff, bleh, was built by me. Didn't receive much help from my friends because I wanted to envision things in my own way. But regardless, I'm glad you guys came with me and decided to watch through this entire thing. If you have, of course. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. Sleep well, my sweet little beans. And I'll see you again some other time.